My next patron question is from Sonia, who wants to know why some characters are officially considered Disney princesses and others not. One of the unwritten rules for a Disney heroine to be a princess is that a film has to have been a box office success, which explains why Elenwe from The Black Cauldron and Kida from Atlantis: The Lost Empire are excluded from the Royal Sisterhood. However, The Princess and the Frog was technically a box office flop, and yet Tiana was still made a Disney princess. Why do they bend the rules for Tiana and not Elenwe and Kida? So the first thing I want to get out of the way is address the box office results for The Princess and the Frog. The movie had a reported budget of $105 million and grossed $271 million worldwide. While Disney did have higher expectations for the film's box office, among the hand-drawn films of the 2000s, that was actually around the same amount Lilo and Stitch made and about $20 million higher than Brother Bear. Walt Disney Animation Studios was not pulling in the big numbers Pixar was doing at the time, and was generally seen as a less cool cousin. So that's a respectable number, especially when you consider putting princess in the title was likely a turnoff for boys who would perceive it as just a girly movie. The good news is the merchandise reportedly pulled in good numbers, and the movie was a big seller on DVD and Blu-ray. The movie was well liked by those who saw it, and the fact that several years after the movie's release, Tiana's gotten a theme park ride in an upcoming Disney Plus series, and she is apparently a popular meet and greet character at the parks, shows the longevity of The Princess and the Frog. I would also argue that the word of mouth and its later success on home video helped build excitement for Tangled and turned that into a big box office success. The decision to induct Tiana into the Disney Princess line was probably decided before the film's release, and she was added to the lineup only 3 months after it opened. Of course, the big story at the time was that Tiana would be the first black Disney princess. Regardless of how the film performed, that was considered a big deal, and not making her an official Disney princess would have likely resulted in a lot of backlash. And again, with the longevity the film has had, it would have been a very short-sighted decision to exclude her. Regarding why certain characters are excluded, that is admittedly something that's been a tad inconsistent over the years. It makes sense why Elenwe was not included in the lineup, as The Black Cauldron has always been a movie Disney is embarrassed by. Remember that took them 13 years to finally release it on video, so she probably did not even enter the discussion for who to include. Regarding Kida and Atlantis: The Lost Empire, the film was released when the line was still in its infancy, and the team behind it was still tinkering with the lineup. Tinkerbell from Peter Pan and Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame were originally part of it until they were eventually removed. Meanwhile, Mulan has always been included, even though she is not a princess and has no royal lineage. The truth is likely that she's just a really marketable character, and that's something else to keep in mind. This is nothing more than a merchandising line meant to sell toys and other things that appeal to young girls. The marketing team at Disney probably concluded that Kida was not a character that was going to sell many dolls, unlike Tiana and Mulan, who are decent sellers. That said, you do have highly marketable and popular characters not included in the Disney Princess line. Enchanted was a box office hit and remains a beloved movie, but Giselle's not included. She's technically not a princess, but again, neither is Mulan. However, she exhibits all the traits and is heavily inspired by characters like Snow White and Aurora. The likely reason she's not included is that Giselle was mostly depicted in live action, and her animated version is drawn to look exactly like Amy Adams. Disney has to pay Adams whenever they produce merchandise with Giselle in it, something they don't have to do with the other animated princesses. More perplexing is the absence of Anna from Frozen. Elsa you can chalk up to her being a queen, but Anna does not get crowned until the end of Frozen 2, so it's surprising Disney did not include her in the lineup immediately after the first film became an enormous smash. And then complicating matters was that Ralph Breaks the Net did include Anna and Elsa among the Disney princesses. Speaking of Ralph, Penelope is supposed to be the princess of Sugar Rush, but has never been included in the lineup, probably because she rejects the title and would maybe seem out of place. Despite the popularity of Encanto, Mirabelle is not a Disney princess because she's, well, not a princess. Asha from Wish is also not likely to be included anytime soon, although that has more to do with the film's mixed reception and the merchandise apparently not selling that well. I go back to my earlier point that the whole Disney Princess line is based on which characters can sell the most merchandise to young girls, although as you can see, that's also inconsistent and is entirely up to the whims of the Disney Consumer Products team and the folks over at the marketing department. Thank you for your question, Sonia.